Me and the pup going for a walk while we talk to you about dairy operations, more on the large scale side of things than anything. Um, Over the last few days of, I would say more than a week of me looking into the whole Fair Oaks thing, trying to reach out and get as many answers for people as I possibly can, and just talk to somebody, people in the farming industry in general. It's led me to a lot of dead end roads, people not wanting to talk about certain things, people very upset by the whole entire situation. You get people that are, diehard animal lovers and stuff that no matter what the reason is, or you can't give a good enough excuse for what may be going on, those, those types of things. What do? You can't. There's nobody that's going to be happy with whatever answer you give them. Why animals are getting treated the way that they are, why these operations do the things that they do. Um, but at the same time, I'm afraid if you're buying your dairy products from a big box store, there's really almost no operation that I can speak of that I've looked into over the last week that doesn't have something like this going on. The mistreatment of animals, the fashion of getting them in and getting them out and getting a product out of them. At some point, you have to start to decide whether or not you want to treat them like your friend and your pet, or if you're going to treat them like a commodity that you're going to make money from. And there's no answer that's good enough for this, but after talking to 3 different farmers this week and going to sit down with a farmer, a lot of this operation you're not going to get away from. People can do better, yes. People can treat animals better, yes. But when you get to these larger scale operations that you find in the big box stores, unfortunately, and it saddens me to say that most of this animal treatment that you see in some form or fashion is going to be going on. They're going to be penned up in small areas. They're going to be confiscated in, sections of this type of cow or calf or whatever is for this product, and they serve this purpose, and this is how we're going to make our money from them. At the end of the day, when you look at this whole entire picture, unfortunately, it's about a dollar sign. It's about what can I get out of this animal? What kind of product is it going to be able to produce for me? How quick can we have it done? Some cows will probably get milked several times a day. Who's to say that that's healthy or not? But the more I look into the dairy operation in general, the more I realize none of this is going to be what we want it to be. None of this is going to be safe, clean, ethical. There's going to be never going to be a good enough answer in these large scale operations. When you buy local and they expose themselves to you, yes, you can actually see that they're using stainless steel cattle gates that they get brought into, that they're sterilized, that they're clean. They take more time with the animals. They don't put as much pressure on them and stuff. They don't abuse them. They're not to the point where they're so pinned up in tight areas where all the ammonia and stuff from the feces that they drop on the floor and they walk through is being churned around constantly, and they have to breathe this stuff in daily. Yes, you're going to see that this doesn't happen on such a scale with smaller operations where they can actually care for the animals in a greater respect, because now this is like they almost treat the animals like their family. The larger scale operations, when you go to the store and you're buying the milk from Walmart and Shucks and HEB and stuff like that, you're not getting away from anything outside of what Fair Oaks is going through right now, more than likely. You're not going to be able to find an operation that is 100% up to your standard on animal care. It's not going to happen. The more I dig into this, the more I realize that we're at a loss here when it comes to this. Either you understand that that animal is putting out a product that you like to consume, and whether it's for your health or not, you push everything aside, and you understand that there are better options, small farm options, to not support the the bad ethics that come to business practice when it has to involve the dairy processing world, farming world. If you support local, then you're going to support a better treated animal. If you support local, you're going to support a better ethics driven process because the scale is not so large. You're not out there to try to push numbers as much. If you keep buying your product from the box stores and not supporting local, you're supporting the very thing that you're fighting against. Just because it says grass fed, hello Linda, just because it says grass fed, grass finished, does not mean that you're not supporting bad ethics. Either way, at the end of the day, what are you trying to achieve here? Are you trying to achieve health, good nature, when it comes to the animals, or are you trying to get away from all that stuff completely and go vegan and don't support any of the bad ethics in general? No matter what you do, if you are eating meat or consuming some kind of dairy, it saddens me to say that you are supporting some of the bad ethics that come along with the farming operations in general. Now, can I look at myself and say that I'm okay with that? At the end of the day, my health has to be number one. I know that a vegan diet doesn't suffice me. I know that a vegan diet I cannot sustain. I've tried it. I don't feel right on it. Um, I've tried many different methods and I cannot do it. Do I realize that buying my food from the big box stores contributes to the bad ethics and the maltreatment of animals? Yes, I do. Am I okay with that? No, I'm not. Is that going to stop me from going and buying animal products and stuff from the big box stores? Sometimes that's all I got. Sometimes I can't, I might be in an area where I can buy 30, 40 pounds of meat that will sustain me for 3 or 4 weeks from a local farmer if I've got the extra funds for that, and I'll be able to do that, yes. But am I going to be able to do that all the time? No. In the back of my mind, I'm going to know that the product that I'm buying probably has an animal behind it that has been mistreated in some way, form, or fashion. It's never going to be perfect. It's not going to be spot on. I realize now that there are certain things that I'm going to have to be okay with, because there is no larger farming operation that I have seen so far since looking into all this that treats their animals with 100% respect. There is none. Everything that I've seen that's been exposed, unless it is a local, smaller operation, it's never going to be up to standard. So at some point, you have to look at yourself and say, what am I here for? Am I here for my health? Am I here for the ethics of that animal? Am I here for an eye-opening situation to make me want to go vegan? What is the purpose of the diet that I'm on and how I want to live my life? And at the end of the day, it's my life. It's my health. So if I have to eat some animal meat from the big box store that came from a farming operation that may have some bad ethics tailored to it, that's what I'm going to do. It's sad, I know. It's not the answer. But supporting local is the answer. Supporting local to the point where you get to see what goes on with the animals is the answer. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find one good situation with big giant operations when it comes to the meat industry or the dairy industry in general. I haven't been able to find anything yet where animals are not treated 100% correctly when it comes to the big giant farming operations. So no matter what I give you, no matter what excuse, no matter what situation I bring you, no matter how many answers I give you to fix the problem, it's never actually going to be good enough to stop people from buying from big box stores. That's just a clean-cut, dry version of it. There are no quick fixes. There are no answers to this situation. The only thing that we can say is buy local. If you can buy local, then you minimize the maltreatment or the mistreatment, the poor ethics of animal handling. If you're buying from the big box stores, chances are that operation is probably so large, there's no operation that can support supplying a big box store that's going to be able to treat the animals 100% within your standard or spec. It's not going to happen. And it's sad. It's sad that we don't have better care for the animals when it comes to that. And it's sad that we have to make a choice between, just being okay with a certain amount of mistreatment. Let me let the dog in the house real quick and I'll finish my thoughts. It's hard to finish my thoughts while she's trying to pull me. She wants to get back in the house because she heard some gunshots and some fireworks, and she don't like that. She wants to go inside and lay down and get in her little comfy spot. I don't blame her, so I'm gonna let her. We're gonna finish our walk. Go on, baby. Go ahead. So now I can finish talking to you guys. I can't give you a good enough reason. It's sad, and it hurts inside to know that tomorrow would I go to the store if I knew I was out of food and I had to choose between eating vegetables and eating animal products, and I knew the meat that I was going to buy came from a place that did not practice good ethics when it came to animals. I'm sad to say I still would buy the meat. I've learned that my life has to be number one when it comes down to it. I've learned that no matter what answer I give people, how much work I try to put into something, no matter how much of a difference I try to make, I only make a small impact on the overall outcome of a better situation. And I'm trying to do that. Guys, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to drive to Howard's farm to get his thoughts on the farming operations, the dairy operations, to sit down and talk to him, and then to get out there and not even be able to video the conversation because his son didn't feel comfortable being on camera was even more of a kick in the you know what, because I couldn't give you guys that content, that feed that I wanted to give you. So now here I am apologizing and just giving you my thoughts and trying to leave myself vulnerable to you to let you know there's, no matter how much work I've done over the last few weeks of trying to figure this out, anytime you go to a big box store and you buy your products, what you're getting is not completely ethical. What you're getting is not completely kosher, with up to standard of not abusing animals, not rushing animals, not having animals in areas that should fit a type of lifestyle for a 700,000-800,000 pound cow. You know, unfortunately, if you want meat and you want dairy products, a lot of times what you want, something has to pay for. And when we have to try to mass produce stuff and people don't buy locally, and they want to keep going to big box stores, HEB, Whole Foods, stuff like that, you're not going to buy a product that is not rushed, it's not cramped up, it's not mistreated. You're not going to buy a product that those people have in their store that in some form or fashion is not mistreated in some way. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just telling you, the only way to minimize that is buying local. When you buy local, the operations are nowhere near as big. They're not as rushed. They can take more time with the animals. They care more about the animals. They don't have a reason to rush things. They have more time on their hands to actually nurture and raise that operation that's going to make them money, because they know that they can't afford to take a loss as much as the big box stores or the people that supply the big box stores can. I'm sure Fair Oaks right now is hurting terribly. I've been trying to find the stock value of how it's fallen since this was exposed by ARM, but I can't find it. I can't find the stock before and the stock after, but I have to imagine that it has plummeted with as many big box stores that have chosen to pull their product off the shelves. I'm sure they're hurting badly right now. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about the fact that they're hurting badly right now, because even as a carnivore, a person that loves to eat meat and drink dairy and stuff like that, I can honestly tell you that watching those videos of what happened to those animals, it's not just there. It's at a lot of farming operations. It's at a lot of dairy operations. Stuff like that is going on all over the place. You would be stupid to not think otherwise. I mean, there would be no operation that could sustain that level of how much they have to put out to supply the stores and not have some kind of give on it. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep spreading the word. I know there's a dairy place about 45 minutes west of here where I can get raw milk, where they let you see the animals. They let you see the entire milking operation. It's a small farms. It's called All Grass Farms, and they're very kind to the animals. The animals have lots of space to roam around in free land, actually acres of land that they can just walk out on and graze if they want. They come in when they want. It's a very, very nice, peaceful operation. No animals are held in barns or anything like that. It's like a free range, all grass, grass fed operation. The only animals that they do have in like small enclosures are the ones that are either birthing or ones that may have gotten sick and they're trying to tend to them, or what did I see? The pigs, the were in a very large enclosure, a lot of room. Like I would say, my entire yard here, from like that pool over there, all the way over to the tree line, and then all the way up to the road right here where I'm standing, probably had about, I want to say, about 10 pigs on it. They gave them quite a bit of room to move around, and kind of they would all congregate together and eat together and then move around and then come back to the same spot. I mean, they had plenty of room to move around. It wasn't like they were cramped or anything like that. But what I'm getting at is the smaller farms, the smaller locations, they care about the animals more. They can actually afford to care about the animals more. They don't have to rush things as much and things of that nature. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. If you want to support something that's more ethical than what you've been seeing with Fair Oaks, you probably have to stay out of the big box stores, and that's the sad part. If you don't do that, you're probably contributing to the same thing in many other forms with people that supply the big box stores. That's my thoughts. And again, if this rubs anybody the wrong way, I didn't intend to do that. I'm just being very open, very transparent, very vulnerable to you. And it just makes me sad to even have to say the things that I've said in this video. So let me know what you think.